Hey guys, this is Fraser from ThinkSmart Tutoring. Today we're going to be going over a 7-mark question from my Paper 1 exam. This is an AASL level question, and it's a functions question, so it's asking us to investigate this function f of x and this function here g of x. So the first thing it asks us to find is f prime of x, which is the same as the differential. That's just the notation we use. So this makes use of the chain rule. Sorry, that should be a squared. This makes use of the chain rule. Because we have a square of a linear function, but to be honest, it's a pretty simple one. You know, we can use that general rule where when we're using the chain rule, it's just we differentiate this function and then we multiply by the differential of this. The differential of that is just 1, right? And again, this 2k here, that just goes to 0 because the differential of any constant is 0. So that means actually we can just sort of forget this one. We know it's there, but whatever. So that's the first part finished. That should be pretty simple. Obviously, you can go through it with actually using like u equals x minus h, whatever. But it's a pretty simple one, and hopefully as you sort of speed up with these, you'll be able to do these quicker. So the next piece of information, which is crucial, is that they have a common tangent at x equals 3. That tells us two things. That means that f prime of 3 is equal to g prime of 3, right? Because if you have common tangents, that means the gradient of the tangents is the same, which means that the differentials at that point are the same. We also know that the actual values of the functions must be equal. So we're actually going to use this first bit of information to answer here, which is telling us to find what h is, right? Because the functions are in terms of x, but also h and k. Right, so we've already found we have to find f prime of 3, which isn't too bad because we already have f prime here. So now we need to find g prime. Now remember, g prime is given by this function over here, and the differential again, sort of chain rule. G prime is going to be e to the x minus 2 times the differential of this thing up here, but that again, that's just 1. So we can sort of forget about that, and the k goes to 0. So that means that g prime of 3 is equal to e. It's also equal to f prime of 3, which is minus 2 of 3 minus h. Right? So now we're just solving for h. It's just some basic algebra skills. So e equals minus 6 plus 2h, minus there. So that means 2h equals e plus 6, and h equals e plus 6 over 2. Just to have a quick sanity check, this value here is exactly the same as this value, so we know we're correct because we've shown that it's equal to what they've given us. Next part is not much more difficult. We actually need to use this part of this piece of information now. So we know that so f of x, quick reminder, is minus x minus h squared plus 2k. G of x is now equal to e to the x minus 2 plus k. Just double check that. That is correct. We know what h is, but to be honest, h is a bit of a mess. I mean, we don't really want to be copying that in. So right now I'm just going to simplify these, and then once we have a simple equation, I'm going to then plug in what h is. So that means f of 3 is equal to minus 3 minus h squared plus 2k. G of 3 is equal to e plus k. We're gonna equate those. So 2k minus 3 minus h squared equals e plus k. You can actually cancel that k and that k, right? Because we're just subtracting k on both sides. Now I think it's a good time to put that h in. So it was e plus 6 over 2 all squared equals e. So that means k is equal to e plus this whole bracket, and actually this bracket simplifies pretty nicely. Quick note, we can actually rewrite 3 as 6 over 2, combine those fractions, so that's e plus this 6 is going to cancel with this 6 here, so actually we're just going to be left with e over 2, negative e over 2 squared, but again, the negative doesn't matter, we're just going to get e squared over 4, and if you double check, this answer here is exactly what they gave us here. So we're all good. We've answered the questions. We've shown that all of these, sorry, that's a bit messy. We've shown everything that they've asked us to show, and we know that we're correct because we've got the same thing. So hopefully that was helpful. You feel a bit more prepared about what these questions are going to look like in the exam, what kind of things you're going to have to use. If you guys want more like in-depth tutoring, looking at sort of the concepts and more of the understanding rather than actually the exam practice, then feel free to head over to ThinkSmart Tutoring. You can sign up, have a tutor, start lessons as soon as you want, as regularly as you want. It's very flexible. So yeah, hopefully see you guys there. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.